Center field. Robles back. Tie game!
Guys, the Reds take the series 2-1 over the Washington Nationals. What a win by this team, man. The Rally Reds are back. They win it, 6-5 today, with home runs from Will Benson and Christian Encarnacion Strand. Yeah, this is one of my favorite wins in a long time. I mean, down to their last out. Like I said, just an incredible win. Before I get into the game, though, because I have a lot of shout-outs to give, I want to hit on some of the negatives that really kind of allowed this to happen today in a way, but not in a good way. But let me get started. But I don't want to act like this is the only thing, but I do have to start with it because you got to save the good for last, right? Buck Farmer, excuse me. That was horrible by you today. Absolutely horrible. I mean, you can talk about TJ Antone not pitching well in the eighth, and then Sims had to get out of the jam, but he's coming off injury and everything. Not coming. I mean, he just hasn't been he's had some problems, and it's going to take time for him to settle back in. Buck Farmer, that was horrible, man. I'm sorry, that was horrible. I mean, we wouldn't have even needed the rally if you did what you were supposed to do. You gave up a home run on the first at bat that you got put into the game, and then you loaded the bases. I don't think you walked the base. I think there was a single, and then there was a walk, but you just did not have good command. Just horrible performance by Buck Farmer today. Not going to call him out like I did Alexis Diaz, but still very disappointing performance, and you got to be better, man. I'm sorry, but as far as that, I mean, he wasn't even the worst problem. You know who the worst problem was? Adam Beck. I can't stress it enough, guys. When I say MLB umpires, I don't know what you're going to do with them. You got to put in robots or something because this is just ridiculous. I mean, the strike zone throughout this game, and this happens a lot, but this game in particular, it was the most inconsistent I've ever seen. I mean, you had strikes being called balls, and then even balls maybe down, up, and in, or missing the corner by a foot outside the batter's box. It's it was in the other batter's box, and he called it a shot. Just horrible calls by Adam Beck today. So he was a bigger clown than Buck Farmer was. At least Buck Farmer, we can hopefully see some improvement. Adam Beck, just unbelievable. Just this dude. I can't. I don't know who's worse, CB Buckner or this dude, because I'd say the strike zone today was honestly worse, but CB Buckner's horrible too. Just yeah, I just can't. I can't believe that today's strike zone. It was absolutely pathetic. I always question who's worse, MLB umps or NFL refs. When it's NFL season, I always say NFL refs, and when it's MLB season, I say umps. Objectively, though, MLB umps are they're just so bad. But yeah, as far as the negatives I want to hit on today, because I want to get to the positives, man. I got a lot of shout outs to give. Starting off, Jonathan India, amazing at bat. It was an 11 pitch at bat. He just hit foul ball after foul ball, and they were down to their not even last out with nobody on base. Their last strike, it was obviously a 3-2 count, and he just kept fighting and fighting. There was one pitch where I thought that it could have easily been a strikeout. I mean, it was a great curveball up and in, and he somehow fouled it off. He's a freaking fighter, man. I mean, I'm gonna say it. I'm just so happy we did not trade him. I saw some of his post game. He was actually tearing up a little bit. But overall, just what a not bad overall. He's the reason we had a chance to make a rally. So I mean, you got to give him so much credit, man. He's a freaking he. You can talk about his defense all you want, and I've also been critical of his defensive play. But when it comes to his heart and his his ability to play hard and just his effort that he gives, it's uncanny and it's just amazing. And I love Jonathan India, man. I'm so happy for him. He even teared, yeah, like I said, he teared up in his post game conference because this team just fights, man. And he's obviously a huge leader and part of the team. So sorry about that. Um, but next up, I got to give it to Will Benson, man. He is a freaking dog. I mean, I like again. I also like had I wasn't gonna I didn't have a set feeling that he was gonna regress or anything, but I was a little bit like, how's he gonna be? Like when you talk about like the big names, like whether it's Jonathan India potentially bouncing back, Spencer Steer also continuing to improve, obviously Ellie De La Cruz. Will Benson obviously was in that conversation, but he wasn't like that upper echelon. But today he had 3 hits, 3 RBIs. Um, he's on a 3 game hitting streak. He's had a hit in the last 3 games. Very, very happy for him. And I love his charismatic, like just his personality, his charisma that he shows. Obviously, everybody knows, that walk off that he hit against the Dodgers last year, and like his bat flip and everything. But I love his energy, man. He's just someone that we need to have in the clubhouse. I think he makes the team more energized. And he hit the game tying home run to keep the game alive. Just very, very happy for him and just happy that he's a Cincinnati Red. But lastly, guys, and I owe this man an apology. Christian Encarnacion Strand. As John Sadik said, it was his lucky number 13. Forgot to add the quotes on the other side, but regardless, it was his lucky number 13, his first hit of the year. Just look, he hit into 2 double plays today. Obviously, one being with I believe it was a first and second one out rally when we were down by 1, and I said some things in the heat, and I honestly I don't regret it because it's like, um, if you were in that moment and like the frustration, he hasn't gotten a single hit and everything, you would kind of feel that way too, like a level of concern and whatnot. But I mean, after the last at bat, I mean, I owe him an apology. I mean, we all owe him an apology. I mean, we were concerned about him and everything, but hopefully this is gets his confidence back. Want it back and change your whole season. As funny as that sounds, I mean, it's a 162 game marathon. It's not a journey. I always say it like about baseball. It's not a destination. It's a journey. Um, but I think like one bat, either makes or breaks your confidence, and hopefully this is the sign of him going forward. But just huge shout out to him. John Sadik, great on the mic as usual. Barry Larkin is getting a lot of hate, by the way, for quote unquote messing up John Sadik's calls. I mean, you can't predict that before it happens. A lot of people were saying like, oh, he was talking before the home run. Um, I mean, you can't really predict that, I guess, like when you're going into a at bat and everything. It's just kind of like it just happens. Um, and it's not like it's a situation where Tony Romo. I mean, he even talks like during Jim Nance's calls. Barry Larkin let John Sadik do everything he could, but just incredible performance by these three. These three are obviously the ones that kept their rally going, and they deserve so much credit. Just very happy and so proud of the team, man. The Rally Reds. Just as hopefully it's a sign that they're back. And Ellie had another hit today. He had a triple. And then Spencer Steer had a hit. Obviously, just good, solid performance overall. Bullpen was a little iffy, but like I said, Sims, he was able to get out of that jam that Antone created. Hopefully TJ gets better and better. And hopefully we get it rolling. On to Philly, guys. We go to Philadelphia for a 3 game series. And then obviously we have a day off before we come home against the Mets. But, hopefully we can take at least 2 out of 3. I mean, the Phillies, obviously, they're struggling as of late. And they're playing, I believe they're playing the Atlanta Braves. And I think they won today. I know they dropped the first 2. I saw that they were 0-2, and I think they won today. So they're 1-2. We're 2-1. Let's, build off the momentum and go to Philly and let's get a series dub, man. But what a great, great, great game today. I'll probably do like a recap of like the whole series. I probably won't do an individual game. This is just like the first series, so I thought I'd cover like the individual games, just because they all three had pretty major headlines. And obviously being Martini, and then unfortunate Alexis Diaz or quote unquote master class, and then obviously today with CES's bomb, and just the rally with these three guys. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it, and we're on to Philly. See you guys next time. Subscribe, hit the like, and I'll see you guys later.